I'm chasing shadows in the night. Words echo silent where I hide. Every mirror shows a stranger's eyes, searching for the part of me that's mine. But the sky ignites a spark inside, burning down to wait. In the ashes of my fight, truth is born today. I will rise up like a phoenix from the flame. Find my voice and call out your name. From the roots of what I used to be, I'll embrace the truth and set it free. Blinded by the weight of all my fears, I let them break me, shake my day. Every scar's a testament to life. Now I rewrite the story in my mind. Yeah, feel the fire burning. I'm no longer turning away from the truth that's calling. I'm alive today. All I used to be. Flash of freeness, fires ring, set me free. Rising high, Phoenix, watch me go.
Brian has been essentially convicted in the media. He has a right to have this information withheld, brought out in public, so that people can see it's not this neat little package. So people can start to wonder if Brian's innocent. Your Honor, Brian is innocent. So if I talk about things that are in the affidavit, and if I talk about things that we're seeking that the state wants to hide, I think that's fair game for the
Testing audio. Oh, sounds fantastic this morning. Hello, and welcome everyone to Phoenix Talks. I am Phoenix, your host. I am so glad you joined us today. And today is 2 for Tuesday. You're getting 2 streams in one day. Welcome in. I'm so glad to see every single one of you. How exciting is this? Drop a 1 if you think it's exciting, because I have got some amazing things, as always, to share with you today. And Tuesday just seemed to be a good day to put 2 streams on for me. How about you? Hopefully you will all join us. Now, in 2026, I see all the ones coming in. Thank you so much. I see all the 11111. Yes. On Tuesdays, we will have 2 streams in 2026. I am so excited about the amazing changes that we have made here in the coming year. And I put the 2026 challenge basically in challenge, you see the word change. And I hope that everybody loves the changes that are going on this stream. So yesterday I announced Mod Monday, which basically my mods on Monday, anything that you give to this stream goes directly to all 3 of them. They split the proceeds, and that is for their time and their commitment to this stream. They are helping this stream grow. Please let me know where to add money for mods. Yesterday, I was discombobulated and missed Mod Monday. Absolutely. If you want to give to Mod Monday, go ahead and if you have Cash App, this is a great way to donate. If not, hold your donations till next week. Okay, it's going to be massive next Monday. So hold your donations till next week if you don't have Cash App. And we will make sure we are tallying them. I sent them an email at the end of the day. Look, there was $34 donated. You guys are going to split all this money at the end of the month. And that is for their time and energy and effort. But behind the scenes, you know how transparent I am. Behind the scenes, I did tell my mods that my commitment to this stream is to make sure they are taken care of. Any income from the stream, 10% will go divided by 3 to all these mods, because they are absolutely amazing. They are freaking if it wasn't for the mods that show up, and I'm talking about Caleb, and I'm talking about Les, and I'm talking about Amanda. Amanda's amazing research. Les's great mind. She is like a walking tape recorder. She will be able to tell you anything and everything you ask of her. And Caleb is so, I just want to say, compassionate and smart and insightful, and the wisdom that that man has is amazing. So my mods are so important. They make the stream, but I will tell you, 10% of everything I make on YouTube on my stream here will go divided by 3 to the mods. And you guys are absolutely fabulous. I'm telling you, if you don't know of another creator that is kind and loving, integrity, I'm just telling. I do 10% because I also tithe 10. I'm giving 10 to my mods, and everything else is going through a certain percentage is going to a joint venture that I'm doing. So remember, I'm one of the smallest creators probably on the YouTube that came from TikTok. If you follow me on TikTok, I've got about what do I have now? Shoot, 30. It's not much, but I mean, I grew it organically in a few years. 38.2 followers. Okay. 38.2 followers are on my TikTok. If you're watching there, that is, I don't know if it'll let me post it there. Hold on. Let me see if I can do this. And I will drop this in the chat. Drop your link in the chat. It is, let me grab it. Hold on a minute. I don't even know it by heart. Let me see. Here it is. It's just Phoenix Talk, no S. And there it is in the stream. Now, anything that comes through on Mondays is for the mods. If you want to hold it, great. If not, specify that this is for the mods, and that is the Cash App. Make Chevy's Square again. I love your name, by the way. We are Chevy fans. Thank you for this super sticker that the mods will obviously benefit from anything given. And it is just a beautiful time this year for change and challenge and to just be on this stream. I'm one of the smallest creators that you've ever seen. And we are making headway because we talk about the things that maybe they don't want to talk about on mainstream media. What exactly is that? Well, honestly, it is getting to the questions, the unthinkable questions that nobody wants to ask. What are we talking about today? We're going to talk about Kaylee, and we might just get into a live dig, guys. Now, honestly, I have my disclaimer up here. We are not here to, give rumors, feed into all that nonsense. We're not here to accuse, defame, slander, or harm any reputation of any person or entity. That includes her family. They are all presumed innocent until proven in a guilty in a court of law. But we can speculate, and we can conduct our behavior professionally, and that's what I expect from this stream. So when I do say that, I just want to welcome in everybody. Obviously, I've already said that. Welcome into every single individual here. If I don't call out your name, it is no shade. I'm just probably so busy. Here's Caleb, Amanda, Terry C in the house. We've got a lot of OGs in the house. Rebecca, Lulu Bell, you are the kindest, sweetest lady I have met besides all the other ladies here. Okie dokie, Lisa, Brittany, welcome in, Brenda, Donna Rosa, Myra. If you have not hit that like button, Carrie Joseph, I see you. Welcome from down under. We appreciate that. If you have not hit that like button, please do so right now. Grab your drinks, your coffee, your tea, whatever it is that you, beverage of choice, any snack of choice, because I realize that it is lunchtime for some, snack time for some, break time. And I always try to keep my streams to an hour and a half. Sometimes we go over, but I just want to make sure everyone's welcome here. Karen, Brenda, Jeannie Bug, welcome in. All right, Jackie, welcome in. Good to see you back. Amanda, you are here. Good to see you. More, make it 15%. Okay, so here was the option. give them 10% of my stream divided by 3 and Mod Monday, or just give them 15%. And I felt if I did it both ways, if you've seen any great sales compensation plan, there is a little bit of both, a percentage, a base salary, and then a bonus. So the 10% is like a bonus for showing up, modding, doing exactly what they've been doing consistently for 6 months. I did compensate them around Christmas time. And I thought, the beginning of the year, we are going to do more for the mods. And I wish I could have made it 15%, but I think they're going to make more money from Mod Monday. That's 4 times a month, and the 10%. Now, I've been very transparent with you. I make about $600 a month on YouTube compared to some of the creators that are making, $6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, $12,000. And I will tell you, I don't think any of the smaller creators can do this. I can. I'm in a position where I can do this because I value the people and the integrity of people around me. So I would have made it 20% if I could have. Believe me, there are other ways. If you want to donate to any of the mods on the side, ask them for their Cash Apps, ask them for their PayPal, their Zelle, whatever you want. You can reach out to them and you can thank them in any way you want. You want to send them a gift? Ask them where they can send them a gift. I'm sure they're not going to say no. I guarantee you. All right, so let's get into it. We're going to probably be doing a little bit of a deep live dig today, but I want to bring to what I have to the table. And remember, this stream may not be for you. Here we dispel the rumors. We don't go down that rabbit hole. We are very open to suggestions. So if you have a suggestion that you want to see or hear, throw it our way. Whatever you choose, Phoenix, and I never dreamed of your generosity. Caleb, I know you didn't know this because I didn't get in touch with you before this stream, but mods, Amanda and Mod Les, they both know, and I am so honored for you to be one of our mods here on our streams. And I really do consider it our stream. So, like I said, I'm Phoenix, your host. There is so much to be thankful for in this beginning new year, all throughout the year, and we're just going to get into it. So, this may be a live dig. It may be included in Reddit, and it might be included in some other things out there. And see, if there is a rumor online, we're going to dispel it really quick because I'm the kind of person who likes to know, well, what does somebody else think? But I really want to find it myself, and I want to understand with an open heart. And like I said, no question. Everybody's thought matters here. If you've been on a stream before, you know that we question the unthinkable. You know that we're going to dig into it, and we are definitely going to tell you honestly that we think with open minds. We stay curious. We don't listen to the rumors. Every question matters. Every angle is welcome, and nothing is off limits. And if you're scrolling to troll, keep scrolling. But if I just mentioned that this is you, welcome home to your stream of choice. Hit the thumbs up. Let's get into it. So someone asked me to dig into the Kaylee picture, that filter did not look like Kaylee, and I agreed with them. Totally agree with them. And I thought, you know what? Let's just dig a little further. And someone said that she did not have a tattoo. Someone on the stream says, yes, she did have a tattoo. And I basically can confirm today that yes, Kaylee did have a tattoo on her arm. And if you follow the Gonzalez family page, here is the post. Kaylee had one tattoo. She got it a few months before she passed away. Ironically, it said, "Wish you were here. Miss everything about you." And this was in dedication to her grandfather. So when you do see her picture of the picture that was highly filtered that we talked about in the stream on January 5th, which was yesterday, she had this in her picture that was posted. Okay. And so that tattoo was real. It wasn't a temporary tattoo. You can buy them everywhere. This was a factual, real tattoo. So we can dispel that rumor that was going around. And I did make a post on my channel for you all to see, because I think it's important the minute that I find something that makes sense, share it with everyone. And you can obviously see it. It is on the channel on Phoenix Talks over. I will post it real quick here so that you can see it was posted. And right now we're just answering the questions, asking the questions that make the most sense. So hopefully this will pop up, and that is on there. Now, I had to just make a little bit of comment on clip-on fog lights. Really? People are going around saying clip-on fog lights. Okay. Now, I don't know about you, but is there such a thing? I went down this rabbit hole, and there is a screw-on fog light that you can add to your vehicle. But really, when did he have time to do this? Was it like in between the 7 minutes running downstairs, adding that on there, adding on a magnet sunroof and all this other stuff? No. I just think, in my humble opinion, that when rumors are started like this and things are dispelled quickly, it's easier to understand the facts. Okay. So, uh, yeah, bottom teeth Andy, bro, can women not gain a little weight? In my humble, that's Kaylee. It is. This picture was of Kaylee, and it's funny how people will judge women quickly, right? Especially if they gain a little weight and in the summer they lose a little, or they decide to use a filter. I mean, come on. You know, I think these filters can go a little far, but I think a little filtering is not a bad thing. I'm just saying, y'all. Now, yesterday, I did a follow-up video on the Jack D, the Jake S, and the Jack S, because there is quite a confusion out in internet land, social media world, that there are too many people with the same names, or perhaps too many people with like names. And so I decided to do a video and put together so that everybody knows who's who in this
IDAHO4 case among the public that could make a huge difference. The tale of two Jacks. Jack D, who was connected to Kaylee, and Jack S, who was connected to Kaylee and Maddie that night, that was asked allegedly by Jake, Maddie's boyfriend, to look after the girls. Don't know why, but Jack Showalter did. And obviously they found nothing on him except for blood in his apartment that was his own. So how did he get injured? And Jack Decor, who lived with Adam Latta, who actually had presumptive blood in his apartment also. So how did blood get there? And we never got the conclusion of this blood, because in the forensic reports, it said it would be in another report.
Okay, so I want to start the stream this way. We're going to be talking about Kaylee, and we did talk about the two Jack S and Jack D, which, in my humble opinion, I think both of them may have been trying to protect Kaylee and Maddie. Okay, now I'm not saying that Jack D is a murderer. That's not what I'm saying. If he was in fact there, I don't know, because we don't know whatever happened to the conclusive evidence. We have never been given that. We have only been given the ability to speculate. And with that being said, I think Jack S was there to protect Maddie and look after Maddie, because Jake S, his friend, asked, please look after Maddie. And Maddie obviously was friends with Kaylee. And yes, I agree, Aries Joy. She was absolutely beautiful no matter what. All children are beautiful. All children are beautiful. And I'll just leave it at that. Because no matter if they had black hair, blonde hair, blue eyes, brown eyes, thin, heavy, fluffy, I'm just going to say it. All children are beautiful, and it's not just on the outside. I believe, in my humble opinion, Kaylee was an old soul. And somebody else said it, and I agree with it, because she liked to help people. She was interested in learning as much as she could. She wanted to be a teacher. It takes someone special to want to be a teacher, especially in the world we live in today. But I don't know what happened with that. She wasn't going to be a teacher after all and changed her major. And I'm sure teachers become amazing marketing individuals. They really do. She was the mama bear of the family in that house, like I said from the beginning. I didn't know her. I don't know any of her sisters. I don't know any of her family, but I will say she seems to be the mama bear. And I think that somebody may have been a little jealous of her. That is just how I feel. And with that being said, there is so much that we can go down the Kaylee road, but I want to keep it on the surface. And so I believe both Jacks were there as interested parties to make sure these girls may have been safe. So, Christy doesn't want us to look any further into this case. And I think, like I said yesterday, there may be some skeletons there. And whatever skeletons are there, that's family business. And if Kaylee knew family business, that was her business. If someone else knew family business, like the feds, that's their business. Have I seen any Fed cases against this family? No. Have I seen any speculation about this family and their money dealings? Absolutely. And we will talk about extended financial benefits that have happened from this case and keeping it factual. Okay. Yeah. I saw the news story that they just did a few minutes ago. I will talk about that. But before we get into the entire article and news story of what has just taken place, there's a lot of similarities taking place in this moment as the story unfolds a little deeper. So I want to just say that when you watch a news story or an article, I am getting a ton of emails a day, and let's do this. Let's get into the contracts, okay? I've watched a video last night with DA. I've talked about some of their contracts before in what the university is there for. The Moscow Police Department is there for the university, in my humble opinion. But yes, the examiner, the contracts of Dr. S., her name was unredacted in regards to the documents in Pennsylvania that were never redacted. So everyone was able to see that Dr. Vena Singh had, well, let's kind of dig into this. What do you guys think? And then I'm going to get into the Kaylee part. And then the financials. So with the new information that's been given, this was released obviously just a few moments ago before I got on live. What news story? This is the news story. The contract between the Spokane County ends medical examiner contract with Kootenai County coroner's office. So if you understand the hierarchy of the coroner's office, this is where the IDAHO4 went to get their autopsies. So when you look back at the records, it gives a layout of what happened, what took place. But this is the actual doctor who did the autopsies in the IDAHO4 case. Today, it was announced that it no longer accepts autopsy cases from Kootenai County, ending a decades, not just one decade, decades. Long work relation over allegations that the Kootenai County Coroner's Office is actively working against the agency and leaving the coroner's office scrambling. What in the world does this even mean? Are they trying to say something without saying something? Let me just take a look at this. Hold on one second. I want to take a look at something really quick. Let's see if there's any pattern recognition with this statement that has been put out. In plain language, no spin. It has cut ties with Kootenai County Coroner's Office. For decades, Spokane handled top autopsies for Kootenai County. Idaho often contracts with nearby Washington counties for forensic services. Spokane is now refusing all new autopsy cases from this county. And it states actively working against them. Someone is answering prayers. I don't know who is, but somebody is. Maybe they've got an ounce of integrity. As a result of Kootenai County is now scrambling to find another medical examiner or facility to perform autopsies. Is this kind of like saying we can't be bought, or we can't be part of whatever it is that you're doing? We can't be part of this county's corruption? Duke Johnson, the Kootenai County coroner, denies the accusations and says they're false. What? This is a 30-year... What allegations? What allegations are they talking about? What the heck? This is a 30-year relationship that the medical examiner is ending without allowing us to respond or present our side of the story. So the coroner in Kootenai County is saying that's not true, that they're actively working against them. And this is exactly what I was thinking. Too much liability. The return on investment is not working. It's a huge loss of income. I mean, how much do they get on an average? How much does an autopsy cost? I wonder what they're billing them county to county. Cost the county. Let me just check. How much does it cost the county? In the county, private forensic is between $2,000 and $7,000. Hospital, which that doesn't apply, forensic costs $2,000 to $7,000. So if they don't have the ability, I wish we can get the amount for the county. I'll dig into this a little bit more, but that's going to throw them behind. I don't know how they bill internally, but I'm sure that they double it. It's county funding, and that's from the taxpayers. And just being in the medical field and understanding what they do, I would say it's probably about double. But they're saying it costs about $2,000 per autopsy. I wonder if they're going to put their money where their mouth is and let the public see the records to see if that's accurate. I'm just curious. Just saying fact, curiosity. So it says that we have been working extremely hard and fast to determine what all alternatives are. Well, they'll have to find another county that'll do them, or hire a medical examiner for their county. In Idaho, remember they are elected coroners are responsible for investigating deaths that occur under certain circumstances and determine the cause of death. No state medical examiner office handles these death investigations. So many county coroners contract with the Ada County Coroner's Office, which is the home state only forensic pathologist. I kind of see the little lines blurring here. White Lotus, thank you so much for your amazing donation, your super sticker. Thank you for all you do. Absolutely. It's for you guys. You guys in this chat. I did see it, but somebody reminds me. I see so many things on a daily basis. Can we just shout out to the individual that reminded me of this? Let me just hold on the stream 1 second, because I want to give credit where credit is due. Court RN 818 Phoenix, did you see the Spokane County and Kootenai County terminated their contract abruptly for autopsies? Abso-freaking-lutely. Court RN, I'm telling you, you are the top nester of the day. Thank you so much. So, yeah, the news is getting it. I hope that they're starting to catch on what has happened, not just in this county, not just in this city, not just in this state. I'm hoping that people start to realize what's happening all over, not just here. Not just here. You are so welcome, Court RN 818. Are you from the 818 area code? Just curious. My mind's starting to race. Okay, so that working relationship changed December 15th. Wow, what else happened on December 15th, folks? Anyone seeing a correlation of dates and court release documents? Patty K, you freaking rock, girlfriend. Idaho for justice. We are getting there slowly but surely. No, my wedding date is 818 from 503. Oh, well, thank you, sweetheart. I'll have to remember 818, your wedding anniversary. That is so cool. Mine's 1/1/2000. Okay, I've recently learned that one of your deputy coroners has working closely with a disgruntled former employee of the Spokane County Medical.
The city of Moscow and the Moscow Arts Commission is looking for artists to paint.
Hold on a minute. For some reason, that just started playing. Let me go back one little step. What in the world? Did you guys hear that? Let me just go back a minute. Holy moly. KREM just started playing out of nowhere. All right. I don't know if you guys heard that. Hopefully not, but I'm going to get right back into the stream. Here we go. And let's see what they have to say. So basically, one of our deputy coroners has been working closely with the disgruntled yada, yada, yada since December 15th to destabilize our office operations. Well, of course, your staff can act as they please and associate with it. Oh, this is serious. With whom they please, I can understand, sure understand that I'm not willing to spend SME. Whoa, where is this freaking article going? It just keeps kicking me out. Let me take a screenshot of this, folks. This is wild. I keep getting kicked out. Close this ad. Let me just do this real quick. It looks like somebody's disgruntled. I wonder who she could be specifically speaking of it. So to read the full story, go to Coeur d'Alene Press. I'm sure it's behind a paywall, but let me see if it factually is. Hold on. All right. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, 220 people and 80 likes. Put that thumbs up. Even you trolls can like it because you know it just went totally blank, guys. All right, here we go. Let's look at this one. Let me grab this. All right, it says Spokane County ends medical examiner's contract with Kootenai County Coroner's Office. And this is, in fact, Johnson on the front page. Let me do this. Let me stop this screen. Let me do this screen. And let's see if this gets back up here. I'm being patient, waiting for it to load. All right, here we go. Coeur d'Alene, Spokane County Examiner's Office no longer accepts autopsy cases from Kootenai County ending, it's almost the same exact thing. Until recently, Kootenai County contracted 70 cases each year at a cost of $2,000 per autopsy. I'm sure that's on the low end, right? I'm sure that's on the very low end. So 140 a year approximately, plus that working relationship changed on December 15th. Well, let me just go back to the repository and let me see what happened on the 15th. I'm curious. Something happened. A disgruntled employee. For that reason, the doctor wrote, the agreement between the two agencies would end. Her office would no longer accept cases. That means that she's on strike. She's no longer going to work with them. The contract allows for either party to terminate the agreement for any reason up to 30 days notice. So they no longer accept cases as of January 15th. So this has been brewing for a while. Totally brewing for a while, folks. Okay. So guess what happened on the 18th? The 18th was the order unsealing, redacting all those documents. So they knew that was coming down the pike, right? They had to have known. I'm going to see if anything's in the repository real quick coming out now. I wonder what they're going to do about that big boo-boo they made. So the Spokane County Medical Examiner's Office, Dr. S., did not respond to multiple requests for comment. So she is saying silent. An email response from Singh to Johnson said he was greatly surprised by her assertion. So basically, they didn't know it was coming. She knew it was coming, obviously. So I emailed, I have just spoken with the employee here that you were probably referring to, and he absolutely denies he has been working closely with this disgruntled former employee, as you have stated, or even working with her at all. Now, I just want to say this. You can go look at Spokane County Coroner's Office, and you can see by public law, they have their records blocked. Hold on a minute. Here is their office. Here is who works at this coroner's office. Let's just see what is going on. Spokane County, Sally Aiken, medical examiner. Okay, so is she the one that left that had some type of disgruntled employee problem? Let's see. Dr. Aiken has served on numerous committees for the National Association of... She's a graduate of WSU in bacteriology and public health. Let me just take a look at this. She resided forensic pathology in King County Medical's office. She was named president, name 2020, original... Aiken. Why does that name sound familiar? I'm going to go down this rabbit hole, but we'll have to save this for another day live because I don't want to get too far down the rabbit hole and sidetracked. I will definitely bring an update on this because that is very curious. Was Aiken, hold on a minute, was she on the witness list? Let me go look. Hold on. I'm going to go check. Boy, am I going to check. Witness list. Here we go. States motion, Aiken. Why does this name sound familiar? I will figure it out. Aiken. Something doesn't sound right. Holy moly, Lulu Bell. This is late for Mod Monday. Mods, are you seeing this fabulous donation? Holy freaking moly, Lulu Bell. And please don't feel like you have to, but I am so thankful. We have one of the best rising fastest streams on YouTube. In 6 months, we had over 1 million views. That is almost unheard of. YouTube contacted me. Okay, so let me see. Aiken. Lulu Bell, you are freaking amazing. I am going to do digging into this. Aiken, Georgia, don't mind me. Dr. Aiken. Why does that sound familiar? It is going to eat me up until I find out why. But I will find out. Didn't she act strange during the autopsy? Oh, there's something for me to go down. Okay, I will take a look at that. I will look. I'm usually very quick with names, but let me see. Working closely with this disgruntled former employee, have you stated or even working with her at all? Mm. Okay, so here's a little bit more. He has not made any statements with union representative. He has not done anything to support her defense in any way. So it is a has been working closely with this disgruntled he. Okay, so it must be a guy, or it's talking about Johnson. The nature of the dispute between the former employee and the medical office is unclear. Johnson said the individual who works for him knows the former employee socially, but isn't involved in the dispute. This has got to be an internal conflict of interest. I wonder if it is, in fact, about the IDAHO4. Yeah, this is exactly what I was going to say. That sounds like a virus. Get rid of that article. Oh, my goodness. Thank you, Lulu Bell. Caleb says, thank God for blessing you and blessing us with your love, support, and time. Absolutely amazing. Fantastic. A dentist? I don't know. We'll look. So he has not made any statements to union representatives and has nothing to do to support her defense in any way. It's unclear what the dispute is, but this goes into real detail about more. Johnson wrote on December 22nd email, please reconsider extending acceptance of autopsies until the end of January. And then it says, sorry, but our expiration is on December 31st, she wrote. That's the doctor. Wow. And the other counties are denied because of high volume in Seattle and Missoula. We're overwhelmed and we can't take any cases. They can't even take their own cases. Ada County Coroner's Office is willing, but sending cases to Boise is very expensive. The expenditure of $40,000 to retrofit an existing space for autopsies. The funds pulled from money. Bottom line money. Okay, bottom line. Wow, I'm going to dig more into this, but this is freaking wild. Wild, because you know what? I kind of feel like this is maybe a daycare situation that we saw in Minnesota. And I'm just speculating here. What if it's one of those, hey, I set up shop for a daycare and I'm getting all this money and now I'm going to blow the lid on these people? Oh, could you imagine? I'm wondering how much they actually fund and give to this office. I'm opening a daycare next week, guys. I'm in the wrong business. Although I definitely will never want to end up in jail. But yeah. Wait a minute. What? He got debunked. Tell us more, Miss Anonymous. How did he get debunked? Were those not daycare centers? Like $6 million daycare center. Oh, that's news to me. I'm going to have to look into that. Okay, so let's get into this. We are going to look at this and we are going to think openly and logically. And when we say Kaylee, what is the first word that comes to your mind? When I say Kaylee Gonzalez, what is the first word that comes to your mind? Let's see what you guys have to say. Let's see. Kids got dropped off on a video. Oh, interesting. Okay, I'll take a look at that. Beautiful. Truth seeker. Smart. I'll look at that, Caleb. Smart. Absolutely. Funny. Beautiful. I would have to agree. Outgoing, beautiful smile, fun, beautiful, innocent. Absolutely. I think because she was smart, they painted her as this horrible individual, a CI, full of life, a go-getter. Yeah, I could see that. Absolutely. I would agree with every single one of you. Was she? We don't know. I mean, we can speculate. I've always wondered why they released that FBI video of her saying, hi, Kaylee Gonzalez, FBI, Agent Gonzalez, FBI. I always wondered, and I think that maybe they did find out something they shouldn't have found out. Absolutely. I think that this was a combination of things. I think it was the crux that just spunky, strong, and tough. Yeah, I can see her as tough. I can see Xana as really tough, street smart, tough. Why could she not finish her education training? I don't know. That would have to come directly from the family. There had to have been something spunky, protective. Yeah. Yeah, she could have found, I mean, she could have stumbled upon things. I mean, her dad said she was into true crime, that, other people were saying, and even in the witness statements, that there was some predator that lived in the area. I validated that. There was. Um, some people was saying that she found that missing girl, the older lady at Walmart. Then she was found in the river a few weeks later. She was that checked out. That was validated. Strong-willed, strong-willed, absolutely. Trouble has arrived. Good to see you. All don't start. All right, come on in, mother hen. She found out something for a while. I think that's even possible too. When that woman was missing. Yep. I think she stumbled upon a lot of things. She was afraid of something or someone. Independent, very independent. Yeah. She's smart with her money. Beautiful. I mean, there's tons of things you can do to raise money that's legal. I'm not talking about illegal things. Yeah, if we thought some of the deaths were weird, she probably did too. Absolutely. I'm telling you, she had a strong aura, a strong willed, just, I gotta know, curious mind. Okay. And she probably let her guard down because she trusted these people, and she let her guard down. There had to have been something that made her go back. It couldn't have been just about the car. It couldn't have been about the car, guys. I don't think she was going to go and flaunt, I got a job, I got a car. I don't think Kaylee was like that. I think, in my humble opinion, she was proud of all her accomplishments at a young age. I mean, I could share a story with you and you guys would be like, no shit. Okay. Um, I was a millionaire when I was 26. When I say that, I had made $1 million by the time I was 26. Did I spend it? Yeah. Did I invest it? A little. Was I smart with my money? Not as smart as I should have been, but I was young and I was making good money. Making good money with Fortune 5 companies in our industry of IT. And that was right out of the military. Remember, I joined the military young, spent 5 years in the military, got out, started a training company dealing with computers and IT sales. And, I was no dummy. I was in it to win it for business. And then I moved, sold my little computer training business, worked as a government service individual, the civil service. And, I was set. Now I got sidetracked because of guys, right? I married the wrong guy, had kids, stopped my career, got divorced. No, it wasn't a rental car. That was the actual car. But let me tell you, I was in the Marine Corps for 4 years. Now I own my grooming business. It's these are the people that are successful. Now, I'm not saying not everybody is going to be successful. I'm just saying it takes a strong will to get up every morning and do what you love. It does, because sometimes what you love may fail. I've had some failed businesses in my lifetime, but it takes somebody of strong will to succeed. If there's a will, there's a way. You're going to find a way to make it work for you. Okay? Now, that's why I'm here today, right? Why would I, a grandma, a mother, a wife, and taking care of others, why would I come and start a stream? Right? I mean, if you think about it, I started the stream to get information out there. I didn't start a stream to entertain you. I wanted to bring you facts and evidence. Is it part of entertainment? Yeah, it is part of entertainment. It's part of the social media entertainment world we live in today. The only way to bring it to you is this way. It's called one to many, and that's how I ran my training companies. My one to many. Okay? And I didn't run just like, okay, come and take your class, it's $25 charge. No, I sold my training to businesses. I went out there, I talked to CTOs, CIOs, CFOs, and I sold my IT training sales. It was big time money. I had my own trainers that I contracted. I went out and sold the business. They went out and taught the business. I contracted. And that's how you make a successful business. You make everything mesh together and work well, and your clients appreciate you. Okay? And that's how you do it. Now, I think Kaylee had that ability, just like her dad, just like other people in her family. If you haven't noticed, some of these girls are on social media and they are killing it. Is it because the way they looked or their personality, their singing, their dancing, their talents? All of these girls are beautiful in that family. Okay? Now, I'm not saying that if you have the ability to do it, You're young. If I was in my 20s again, I would definitely be kicking and killing it on social media. Absolutely, 100%. But let's talk about what they did for Kaylee. All right? They had a GoFundMe. I know this is going to get tight. A lot of people are going to be like, I'm out of here. I'm dipping out. I'm just keeping it real. Now, I've said this before when we looked at the autopsies and we looked at the restitution, and I said, was Kaylee's life worth the $5,000 in restitution they offered? Hell no. This girl had a long lifetime available to her, and her future earnings, you don't know what she could have earned. There is a high probability in my mind she would have made a couple $1,000,000 in her lifetime. That was my opinion. But when you start looking at some of the things that the family and the members of the family did, they did start these GoFundMes, but they were highly questionable to me. I mean, let's just dial back a minute and let me ask you, the chat. Did you think that some of these GoFundMes were questionable? Yes or no? Yes or no? Absolutely. Absolutely. I would agree, Miss Anonymous 617. The U.S. the government calculates what each person can make so they can estimate tax money and revenue. From the date of your birth, they do this. It is a business. It's a business, guys. If you don't know that, welcome to the business. Your birth is calculated and what you are able to do on the medium side, not the high end side. Okay. So when I started looking at these, GoFundMes, I started thinking, why did they have all these GoFundMes? I mean, I've seen about 3 or 4 that I know of. It's not like I'm trying to keep track, but I had to go back and look at it. Okay. There were a couple of GoFundMes. I know the large one was 68,000. Then there was a GoFundMe to help raise money for the Range Rover, for them to buy the Range Rover. And I had a screen. Oh, I went back in my screenshots from years ago, guys. Holy moly. Boy, I'll tell you. And one of those screenshots was a comment made on it. And it said, if 170 people only gave $100, that's $170,000 for a $24,000 Range Rover. What? What? What was this money going to be used for? Why did they buy it? I mean, logically, in my opinion, if one of my kids went out and bought a car and then something bad happened or they had to, give the car back, I would probably just go ahead and buy it outright instead of paying interest on it, because by the time you pay interest, you could have bought a car and a half or almost 2 cars, just like a house. A house mortgage nowadays, you're going to buy 3 houses by the time you're done paying it off. I mean, think about it. People can't afford food out there and they expect us to pay for it. I mean, I remember seeing on LinkedIn, didn't someone say that Steve was a millionaire? I remember seeing that. I don't know if it's true, but I remember seeing it. I do. Yeah, it was a $24,000 Range Rover. I remember seeing the paperwork in the reports, the redacted reports. Yeah, I showed you that yesterday. Yep. 5.3 trillion, FYI, IRS collected off of us, our individual taxes. Yep. Yeah, it's all calculated. Everything is calculated. Okay, so Inked Mama says, I totally understand her buying a car after she was done with school. I did the same thing. The day I graduated, I purchased my car as a present to myself. It makes me sad that they didn't keep her car. But they did keep her car. They did keep her car. There is a video out there on, what is it, Kaylee Day or something. Steve, he's got a news person in the car with him driving Kaylee's car. He still drives it today. I remember seeing that video. He still drives it. Is it Kaylee J Day? I believe that's what it's called. And I think that's awesome. They did that. They go and they pay it forward. And they had a brief video where he's driving her Range Rover around. So I think he kept it. Absolutely. I think he still drives it around, from what I understand. Yeah, they kept it. So, I mean, but let's really think about this, okay? This thing on Reddit said that there was 4, and I remember seeing 3 of them. So you can quote me on this. I remember seeing 3 of them, not 4 of them. But there was one for 70. She put 75 down. $1,000 came from her grandmother for the car. Yeah. But there was a GoFundMe for $12K, a GoFundMe for $14K, the GoFundMe for $68K, and there was another small GoFundMe. Okay. So that's approximately 4 GoFundMes. The major one was for, obviously, court that never happened. Yeah, they had to go to court a few times. But then the Gonzalez family said they were going to return the $85K. And this was just about, 6 months ago, after they didn't have to go to court, after a lot of people were questioning, well, are you going to give back the money since you're not going to court? Well, why are they returning the GoFundMe? Well, let's... Whoa, did you read this? It's all text. So Steve Gonzalez told TMZ that he will not bait and switch the people who donated. But how do we know they even returned it? We don't know. How do we know that even happened? They're not going to bait and switch people the same way that the prosecutor, Bill Thompson, did it to our family. There was only $24,000 that car was owed on, approximately, from what I understand, or a little less. Yvonne is saying they haven't returned it. I donated. Wow. Yeah, that was a separate GoFundMe they made to pay the car off. Yes. And remember, a plea deal is what they give you. That's your only option out of the death penalty, a firing squad. It's what they give you, not what you request. He did plead guilty according to their rules, their stipulations. He gave no proffer, nothing. And what I'm about to show you will blow your mind for the next stream. What a disaster. You guys are going to be like, how in the world did they ever get to this point? Hold on a minute. Let me take this off for a minute. I'm going to turn that music off. All right. The rest we know is a complete fabricated lie. So he says he's going to return the money. And that's what this article started out with at first. So when they say they're going to return the money and people here are saying, no, they really haven't. I didn't get my money back, whether it be, $2 or $200. They basically said that, no, we were going to return the money. Now what? The father of Kaylee Goncalves, one of the 4 slain Idaho students, said he's trying to refund. Now, it does say he's trying to refund more than $85,000 his family received on a GoFundMe page created to support expenses during Koberger's trial. There was no trial. So he did go to court a couple of times, but it says he was trying to return $85,000. How do you return $85,000 to GoFundMe? How does that work? Is it on the honor system? Because I know if you go, well, you can't now. It's already been taken down. Let's just use this as an example. GoFundMe. Let's just use this one. We'll use this one since it's already up there. You can go and you can see everyone who donated, right? You can go and you can take screenshots every day, or you can probably even ask GoFundMe. I need to know everybody who donated this and how to send the money back. Now, I know that GoFundMe, if you send them the money, they will return it to every single individual and with hardcore proof. Okay. But how do you go from getting $85,000? They give you a financial ledger when you do GoFundMe. They'll say you took out, let's just use it an example. You took out $25,000 on this day, and the balance remaining was XYZ, because there's a maximum amount you can take out. And then all these people donated. How do you get it to give it back? How in the world? Thank you, Amanda. Yes, the Range Rover was listed for $22,794. She put down $7,500, so it wasn't that much money needed. I need to grab me a cough drop. It wasn't that much money needed to go ahead and yes, Les. He was talking to TMZ. It said that. So there is a way to find out how much you received on a daily basis, who gave the amount, and how to return it. And they will assist with those. Okay? Should look up Dylan, see who the people, I bet they were fake because she needed it. Oh, you know what? Some of these people are actually alumni. at the U of I. Some of these people that I have looked up are actually alumni of the U of I. You can go through and look at, I mean, it's all public. I mean, shoot, everything is public nowadays. Where you live, what your number is, what your emails are. All that data out there is free or downloaded or shared or reported. The dealership, I'll tell you exactly the dealership. It was one something. Hold on. Kaylee's Range Rover, one price, one. Let me see if I can get closer. Yep, here it is. Let's see if you guys can. That's blurry as frick. Hold on. Let me see if I can get a little closer. The dealership was one price, U price. Oh, hold on. Nope, that's not even closer. Hold on, that's further away. Let's see if I can get another picture. AutoNation. Was it AutoNation? I thought it was one auto, one something. Let's see. AutoNation? I don't know. Let's see what this says. They moved it to the city lot. They retrieved it. Isn't this Steve retrieving it? Or who is this? Did they take that video down? Dang it. Who is that? Oh, an officer led. They removed the Range Rover. That's the picture they used. Said they were going to return it. Price. One price. So that was one price in Washington. Here it is. And in the document, I don't know the number exactly. Here is the actual company. Oh yeah, AutoNation Acura, one price, pre-owned vehicles. I remember this logo. There it is. They've got some pretty good deals. There was them getting the car back. See, she didn't even have front plates on it yet either. In Idaho, you have to have front and back. AutoNation provide paperwork. Yes, they did. It was in the reports. Yep. Okay. Yeah, it wasn't a rental car. It was actually her car. And there they are moving it and releasing it. No, that was not a loaner car. Do you know why it wasn't a loaner car? And I know we've went over this before. What happened was she got the car and she called them and told them, hey, there's a engine light on or something. And basically they said, look, you can bring it back. And by the time she didn't have time to go back and take it, and she just kept it. So that was not a loaner car. So I don't know who started that rumor for sure. So Range Rover, here we go. Here's the document. Here is document 3, MPD. And right down here it says silver 2015 Range Rover with Washington license plate, registered to JS. Wait a minute. Whoever just said that, why was this a Washington license plate registered to JS? Wait a minute. Hold on a minute. Hold on one freaking second. Let me go back a minute, guys. Yes, you are right. You are absolutely right. I just remembered it had Washington plates on it. It was registered to JS. Why did the dealership not remove the plates? Did they just leave the plates on? Where did you go? Let's make this make sense. Okay. Lay Allen. Let's get down to the nitty-gritty here. The Silver Land Range Rover license plate. There was no license plate. What the hell? Guys, did you see a license plate here? There. Okay. If she just bought this car, make this make sense. If she just bought this car and it had the price, which I showed you, okay, she had the price logo on it. That's not an actual license plate. I get it. But they checked the VIN number. It was a temporary plate. I don't see a temporary plate in the back of this vehicle, though. The paper in the window in the back or the front. Okay. So that would make sense. But this is the actual car that they decided to keep. This was not a rental car. You guys almost had me there for a minute. Wow. I'm so glad we talk and we work this out. Logically, the car was still licensed, because usually when you go buy a car, the dealership has so many days to move it over and get it registered in your name. Okay. Yes, it should be. Yeah. Okay. All right. So that makes sense. We'll leave it there. And that is, in fact, the same car, because on Kaylee Jade Day, Steve is interviewed, and you can see him driving around in it. He's definitely driving it. Hold on a minute. Kaylee Day interview. Where did that one go? The News in Fact had an interview, and they did a video. Where are you? He in fact did an interview on Kaylee Jade Day in the Rover. Amanda, what did it say? Maybe it was laying in the back seat. The temporary license could be. It usually has to be on the back of the front. So yeah, paper tags. And then they usually send you the little sticker in the mail. It gives you a list of the VIN number. Okay. All right. Now that's that question solved. That was her actual car. And let me see. I know that there was a video. All right. Kaylee Jade. Here we go. This one is... Where is it? This is interesting. Let's watch this real quick. I want to... Let me add this one. Let's see. Let's do this. This was early on. And let's just see.
That he began getting some answers.
Feel relief.
This is January 9th, 2023.
It was nearly 7 weeks of absolutely no clear guidance that we were on the right track. We had evidence. We knew there was evidence, but...
Why does that say Steve OG? Do you guys see that? Let me take my banner off for a minute. What the frick? Do you guys see that at the bottom of the screen? Steve OG? What is that all about? He's on a Zoom call. He's dialed in. This is his ID tag number. What is this?
All that can mean nothing until you have a face and a personality to put it towards.
Steve Gonsalves's daughter, Kaylee, was taken from him exactly 8 weeks ago today. Investigators say she was killed in the same bed as her best friend, Madison Mogan, in a house just off the University of Idaho campus on November 13th. Downstairs, their roommate, Xana Kernodle, and her boyfriend, Ethan Chapin, were also
Look how young that picture is.
The man accused.
Why would they show that young of a picture for Ethan? What is going on? That is not him in college. Screenshot it. Look at that. Crazy.
Of murdering the 4 students was arrested in Pennsylvania and flown to Idaho this week. 28-year-old Washington State University PhD student Brian Koberger faces 4 counts of first-degree murder and 1 burglary charge for going into 1122 King Road in Moscow with the intent to commit murder, according to investigators. A detailed probable cause affidavit was also released Thursday, laying out why investigators think he is the one who killed the 4 students. As Koberger sits in the Latah County Jail with...
I just can't. I can't. But look at these younger pictures. Let's see what he's got to say.
I wrote to Kaylee talking about their friendship, and when they were beyond sisters, because sisters are, you kind of forced to get along. These two didn't. They weren't forced. They were just like yin and yang. And
Kaylee, Maddie, and one of their roommates, Xana Kernodle, were stabbed to death in their house near U of I on the morning of November 13th. Xana's boyfriend, Ethan Chapin, was also killed.
I'm here for my daughter and Maddie, but there's 2 other people that are just as important, and their kids went through just as much, and their losses are just as real. Like, I was going to be required to come out and make sure that the story didn't die, and we built some momentum, and we got everyone involved that we possibly could.
That momentum increased.
I mean, it took forever for me. But...
Brian, did you do it? Brian, did you do it?
When police announced they arrested the man they think took the students' lives.
If there was ever a dream team to solve a crime and put it together correctly, we got him. So that's why I just sit back and now it's just going to be a slow drag.
How tall is Brian Koberger? Does anybody know off the top of their head? How tall is he? Six feet, approximately 185 pounds. How tall is Dylan? I know Kaylee is much shorter. How tall is Dylan? 5'10". All right, let's listen.
What are you feeling now that we know who the suspect is?
I feel relief. It was nearly 7 weeks of absolutely no clear guidance that we were on the right track. We had evidence. We knew there was evidence, but all that can mean nothing until you have a face and a personality to put it towards. Tell yourself to be careful, because you never know for sure. It's a defendant, and it's not done. There's still a lot more work to do. So that's where we're at now. We're ready for the next chapter to be, okay, we're going to go in and, we got the affidavit, and we seen that it wasn't a page, it wasn't 2, it wasn't 3 or 4 or 5, it was long.
An unusually detailed and long probable cause affidavit released Thursday lays out DNA, cell phone records, and video surveillance investigators say link Washington State University grad student Brian Koberger to the crime scene. Investigators say they found a knife sheath next to Maddie's body, and the sheath had DNA
Wait till you all hear in my next stream at 4 p.m. today. You guys are going to want to tell everybody. This is freaking crazy what I found.
Matching Koberger's father's DNA.
It was worth the wait, and they have a lot of evidence to show for that. So we're on the right track, and there's still a long ways to go, but it feels good. It feels good to be where we are right now.
The affidavit also said Koberger's phone pinged near the girl's home on King Road in Moscow at least 12 times in the months leading up to the murders.
And close enough that he was touching their Wi-Fi, that his phone was touching their Wi-Fi.
Defense attorneys tell me the probable cause investigators put in their affidavit is likely just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to their evidence. But statements in this affidavit are not evidence on their own. Attorneys caution we still haven't heard the defense's side in the case. Koberger is presumed innocent at this point, and he has a right to a fair trial.
What was it like seeing him in court yesterday? What kind of sense did you get from his body language and the way that he acted?
I got a sense that he was shocked that he had messed up so bad. He had read that, and I think he knew how damning it was, and he wasn't going to be able to explain a lot of that stuff very easily. He could, I'm sure he thinks he can, but I seen a man who looked defeated, and his body language looked like somebody in shock and dismay. So I think he knows how much he has to go against, and he's the reality of it setting in.
The PCA also revealed one of the surviving roommates woke up to noises and saw a masked man in the home a little after 4 a.m. She told police she was in a quote.
Okay, so this is what Dylan says about Kaylee. And this is the second part of the stream. If you just joined us, we are talking about Kaylee. We did a little bit of digging in finances, a little bit of the GoFundMes that were made. You can go to Reddit. You can read all the rest of all those amazing donations that were made. And if, in fact, they gave back the funding. And we have some streamers that say no. I don't know if it's valid or not, but I've not heard of anybody getting their money returned to them. So, Dylan said in this document that was reported and the news, which I'm showing you now. So we're just going to go over and see, in fact, if Dylan heard Xana or Kaylee. As she said, it could have been Xana. It could have been, right? And it says at 3:29 starting. Now, I know that is not the time it started. I've already seen this on videos. You've probably seen them too. But let me do this. Before I grab the 3:29 to see, because this is really narrowing down 3:29, folks. This isn't like around 4 o'clock. This is saying at 3:29. Now, if we can hear scuffling on the 1112 camera, at 3:29, we should be able to hear some other things on the audio that has been given to us through FOIA request. This is 2:29. Let's get to 3:29. And let's just see if we could hear what Dylan may have heard about Kaylee. Now, mind you, the girls in this car have already hightailed it out of this area that we're parked right in the middle. They have already walked down and left. Les. Okay, so is it possible that somebody's there? Is it possible that somebody is there around this time frame? I say maybe. I've slowed it down. Yes, Les, drive safe. Now you can see the car lights in the house at 1119. They are putting on their brakes, stopping, if you didn't notice that. Someone walks around the backside of the brakes, it looks like, when you walk in front of something. I hate the sound, but for the sound bites. Okay, so we do hear something at 3:31. But we also heard almost the same sounds at 1:35. I'm wondering if this is on a loop. I'm going to go and look into it later on. But let's go back to this news report.
Frozen, shocked face when he walked past her to the back door. 911 wasn't called until noon the day of the murders.
So I think that's a natural thing for girls to freeze up and lock up and, put themselves in a position of safety. And I don't hold that against them.
Now, I think obviously somebody kicked in the door, as we reviewed in the past.
I've already checked into the, could they have lived? Was it a slow bleed out or something? It wasn't. So there's one bad guy here that I have to focus on.
Do you know of any connections between Kaylee and any of the victims and this individual?
To me, it's like 19 miles. I'd be shocked if these guys didn't cross each other in grocery stores and just everyday life.
I'd be shocked if they didn't cross each other 9-10 miles apart. We know now that all the agencies have said there was no connection. Wouldn't he be shocked?
I'm assuming that he followed them and he may have figured out what their patterns are, and then he tries to bump into them, or he tries to hang out in those spots.
You don't think there's going to be some kind of connection that will explain this?
No, what kind would? My girl's bullying him.
You know what I find odd? Every time he talks about Maddie and Kaylee, he doesn't name them. He just says, my girls.
Or, what kind of behavior could explain somebody being this brutal to another human being? He was probably obsessed with just their overall looks and their social media accounts and the fact that they were close,
Along with any possible connections, the affidavit also didn't reveal a motive. Because Koberger was getting his PhD in criminology, Gonsalves guesses he may have wanted to live out what he taught.
I think he thought in his little fantasy world that he was going to teach a class where he actually did it. No one had a clue. And then that gave him a sense of superiority. Like, you're getting your grades, graded by somebody who actually has lived this lifestyle.
The grieving father says rather than glorifying the suspect with all the national attention on this case,
I hope the story here is all about these kids.
We have to remember to highlight the beautiful lives lost. He also feels he has to forgive the person who did this.
Otherwise, it's just a cancer inside, and I'm not willing to live with that inside me. We're not gonna walk around with darkness in our heart for the rest of our lives, and have his name written there like a tattoo on our consciousness.
Morgan Romero, Idaho's News Channel 7.
It's odd that they said suspect when they're showing JD's picture with Kaylee. I think Kaylee got the shitty end of the deal in this story. I really do. And when you think about it, yeah, Steve G is speculating. She did change. young women change, and their looks change a lot when they're young. Absolutely a lot. I mean, was she doing her lashes, doing her makeup differently, gain weight, lose weight? They definitely look much different. And the media narrative that was pushed, it started with the Chronicles of Olivia. That's when the media narrative was pushed. But let's think about this. Kaylee, smart, young, beautiful, you know, her dreams were about to be lived. Taking a job, moving away. I mean, a lot of people move away from things they don't like. Let's just be real. You don't like something, got to get out of Dodge, you move away. You become, a butterfly. You leave that cocoon. You move on. The signs were there for us to see what the family have wanted us to see, the narrative they wanted to push. I still would like to see Kaylee's autopsy. I want to know whose DNA was under Kaylee's fingernails. I think that would tell a biggest story ever. Because we don't get to see anybody nailed clippings except for Maddie. And why is that? Is that the worst DNA that they would possibly let us see? Is that the worst that they can show us? I'm wondering if they'll ever really release some of these documents. And let us come to the conclusions that they're hiding from the public that pay these people's salary. But see, the Idaho people should be up in arms. This doesn't just affect them. It affects a nation of justice. We should be looking at the truth in this case for justice for the IDAHO4, especially Kaylee, which I think she held a lot of the answers that we are looking for today. And I'm going to be talking about the DNA. You are not going to want to miss this one next. At 4 o'clock, join me today, 4 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. I will be here, and I hope to see you here also. Be well.
I've been chasing shadows in the night. Words echo silent where I hide. Every mirror shows a stranger's eyes, searching for the part of me that's mine. But the sky ignites a spark inside, burning down to wait. In the ashes of my fight, truth is